What is going on, DC fans? Happy Tuesday. Happy new DC day. Happy fall. It's kind of feels good outside. To spent the last little bit of time up at the school with the kids. It's book fair day, so it's not only a day to celebrate DC comics, but a day to celebrate kids books. And they found some good stuff. It was a good time. So I'm excited to get back in time, hang out, look at some stuff from DC Comics. The new releases coming out this week are insane, to say the least. It's not the biggest week we've had in a while because we had some back-to-back giant releases, but I got to tell you what's happening in these comics is some of the biggest things that's happened all year. So we're going to be looking at that, doing the weekly giveaway, talking some Peacemaker, just having a good time. So be sure to hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, consider joining the channel membership. It helps out tremendously. And look at the super chat goal because we can add some bonus prizes to the giveaway today if we hit that super chat goal. Let's go. Also, if you check the description of any and all my video, you'll find some fantastic resources for this amazing hobby, including big-time collectibles. They're in the midst of New York Comic-Con, so all kinds of cool exclusive stuff available now. And if you need anything clean or press, Justin Comics has got you covered. A big shout out to Justin. He donated some cleaning and pressing services via one of the channel viewers. So we'll talk about that later as we get closer to Comics Curing Cancer. And a huge shout out to Augusta Book Exchange, aka ABX Comics and Games. All the books we're going to be talking about today, I'll be picking up from there. If you're not in the Augusta area, you can set up a pull list with them all the same. They do long-distance subscription services with free shipping on orders over $100. So let's get into it. Where do we even begin? I know where we always begin, saying hello to the chat. Give people time to roll in and get here. We got Lisa Babs. Happy Tuesday to you. Good to see you, Lisa. Hello. Hope you're doing well. Las Crucias, good to have you back, brother. Hope you're doing good. Hooray to you as well. Scotty, what's up, homie? How are you? We got Matt in here. How's it going? 12-month member milestone from Matt. Wow, time flies by. And that reminds me, before we go, I can show off some of the stuff that'll be in the October channel. I just did the Legion Loot, the channel membership giveaway this past Sunday for September. It was massive. And this is the last month that we have new Peacemaker content on TV. So it's the last month that I'm tailoring the theme of the box after Peacemaker, Suicide Squad stuff. Got a lot of cool stuff. I posted a slab on my Instagram, Suicide Squad #1, this beautiful Peacemaker variant. That's actually part of the giveaway for the channel members in the Legion tier this month. So be sure to check out the channel membership, or if you're already there, make sure you're in the Legion tier to get your name on that prize wheel. We got Ruby G. What is going on? Cowabunga, homie. Hello to you. Austin LeMay. What's up? What's up? Bryant, how's it going? Hope all your issues are comics too. Brian LCS. What's up? What's up? 27 months strong for the adventurous one, Joseph Michaels. Much like Peacemaker, I've been screaming, stop already enough. Tomorrow is going to be a terrible day. Enough said, RIP, because miss you a lot. You got to put that out there. Make the best of it. Best you can, man. I know you're going through a lot. Celebration of life, you know what I mean? Hello from New Mexico. There it is. There it is. If we ever get the opportunity to meet in person or something, I hope you are wearing a t-shirt that says hello from New Mexico. Hope so. Wayne Deacon, what is going on? How's it going? JMed, hello, hello. And there's your reminder to go check out Eric over on Kickstarter and back it before time runs out. Fully funded, happening for sure. Over 120 pages of sci-fi cosmic greatness from Jonathan Medici. Hope everyone's having a great week so far. Let's go. Brother John, good to see you in here. How's it going? How's it going? Faith and Misery, good to see you. Hello, hello. And we got Rad in here. How about that Predator Badlands trailer? Yeah, dude, that looked tough, didn't it? Tell you what, it looked wild. It looked wild. I like that little tone, that little feeling it gave us when the opening scene where he like kind of just tumbles and wrecks and just sits there for a minute and kind of gets his composure and then just screams in frustration. It was pretty tough trailer. They're definitely going full on sci-fi with it, which I'm definitely looking forward to, taking it in a direction that we haven't fully seen yet. It reminds me a lot of The Predator, the one that they did with Adrian Brody. I guess technically would be the third Predator solo film. But this is kind of taking that up a notch. Some cool stuff in there, that's for sure. Definitely, definitely. Has everyone else seen that trailer? Looked pretty crazy. Looked pretty crazy. So what do y'all want to talk about first? How about the giveaway? Do I have it in here? Yep. This is what you can win today just by being present in the chat. Brand new issue of Absolute Batman. That's number 13. It's our first full rollout of Catwoman. So we got that Nick Dragotta cover featuring Catwoman on there. Probably going to be the biggest chase book of the week with DCKO issue 1 hitting shelves. They're doing blind bags for them, and it's the same format that you saw with the Batman ones. The different variant covers that are out there, they're foil versions of them inside these blind bags, with the high-end ratio being gold foil versions of them. I've seen a couple of these opened already, and at the LCS, Paul, who owns a shop, he opened one just because he wanted to open one. He didn't stream it, didn't film it, and he pulled just the first one that got opened at the shop. Pulled a major banger out of it, just out of left field. Just grabbed one, opened it, and major banger. I'll post that. I've filmed it. I'll post that short tomorrow. Waiting for actual street date because it's not selling it early. It's not leaving the store. None of that. But it was wild. So I'm excited to open some of these myself. I'll definitely be. I got at least one to open myself. I picked up a few copies. I want to be able to give one away in this, potentially give one away in the channel member giveaway at the end of the month, and have one for myself. We'll see how it goes. But you can win one today, and up to 1 in 1,000. I don't know if there's a 1 in 5,000 for this or what, but it's crazy. And then this one on the end right here is if you see that logo right under KO, that's the local comic shop day logo. So this is the local comic shop day edition, the preview book for DCKO. So you get issue 1, the preview, and then the Absolute Batman issue number 13 featuring Catwoman. So yeah, it's a good week for stuff. Good week for stuff. How many variants were there? 57? I don't know. I posted a YouTube short already with all the variants except for the ratios. So I was at the shop, filmed all the covers like I did with the new Batman number 1, and post that in the YouTube. I think there's around 10. It's going to be a big event. That's for sure. This is like DC's return to big events. You get a lot of people, you hear people that get into comic books and like, I love comic books. Oh, I don't like these events. I don't like these crossovers. And I don't know if you'll just enjoy reading as much as you like comic books then, because that's kind of what we do. It's kind of what comics do. It's a big shared universe, and these big events are really fun. And DC's kind of taken the big summer event thing and put it on the back burner as it kind of retooled its universe, its editorial initiatives and everything. We had a couple of crossovers happen, like Action Comics with World's Finest or Batman and Detective Comics. So those stories are kind of still happening inside of the respected character stuff. So this is like our first big event that we've done in a few years since Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths. So I'm really excited for it. I'm really excited for it. The continuity is so tight right now at DC. It seems like everybody's working on the same page, and they're really pushing the stories really far right now. This event's been built up to from the DC All-In special that they did that created and introduced the Absolute universe to us. So there's a lot of potential directions this can go. And Scott Snyder, the primary architect of the Absolute universe, is helming this project. So expect it to be dynamic, hard-hitting, fast-paced, very unpredictable. And we'll get into it when we start looking at the stuff. But the concept sounds a little corny at face value. I'll be the first one to say that. DCKO, a tournament fight. It means King Omega, and there's a storyline to it. And yeah, we'll get into it as we get there. I watched a DC deep dive yesterday. How crazy is it that the bad guys we know will now be the good guys in the Absolute universe? I was like, what? Yeah, it's not necessarily that they're good guys either, is it? It's just that bad is the universal constant, with the Omega energy being what fuels and creates the Absolute world. The natural flow of things over there are toward chaos. If somebody's looking for justice or being hopeful, that's pushing against the universe. I thought that was such a great concept, because here on Earth, the main DC stuff, evil doesn't triumph. Good wins in the end. It's like the natural order of things. Over there, it seems the natural order of things are leading to entropy. What is going on, T-Dubs? Good to see you. I'm rocking the shirt, brother. FailureForce.com. Go over there. Get you some of the softest T-shirts you'll ever wear and some of the coolest designs. 32, what was that, constants? It's a lot. It's a lot. No one is doing it like DC right now. What is up, Raider Nation? Yeah, 1000%. They're not. They're just not. I mean, you got stuff, really good stuff happening, like the Energon universe. Brand new Transformers is out this week as well with the new creative team. Ghost Machine is crushing it, but they're not as big as DC. They don't have as many titles, so it's like you can feel how vast the DC stuff is right now. Sup? I read DCKO, good starting point, surprise ending. There's like 3 major surprises in the 3rd act of KO that I'm like, oh dang, oh dang, oh dang. They just keep on hitting. It was wild. It was wild. Hope everybody definitely should give it a shot. Like I can't stress that enough. Got the first $2 super chat from Steven with a C. Make sure y'all hit that super chat and knock him out because big giveaway today. These things ain't cheap. And on top of that, we'll throw some more stuff in there. It helps offset the price of shipping. So I appreciate everybody that drops those super chats. Big shout out to Steven with a C. Day one from day one. Let's freaking go. Steven with the sleeves. What's going on, homie? Good to see you in here. What's up, guys? Red DCKO was decent. Yeah, dude. Super decent, to say the least. That's not true, Joe. LOL. Absolute Batman 12 kind of explains that. Yeah, what is it? Absolute Evil breaks it down specifically, very specifically. The universe itself is just a bad guy universe. It's wild. Yeah, I'm with Steve. It was great. It was definitely great. And to Mark Spector's point, to Dave's point here, he doesn't read monthlies. He doesn't keep up with universes. He keeps up with like what's going on, but he's not Wednesday warrioring it. So for him to pick this up and to read it cold and think, yeah, that was pretty decent. You know, he's a hard sell for new comics. So that's actually high praise for that book right there. Roscoe, what is going on, homie? Hope you are all having a fantastic flipping day. Hashtag Weeby Legion. Hope you are as well, Roscoe. Hope you are as well. Good to see you in here. What was great was seeing the Chiefs lose again last night. There you go. Contestants. Yeah, 32 contestants. Yeah. Did I have that in here? I thought I might have put something in here for that. Let me see if I can find it because I definitely want to pull it in here. Where did I put it? Didn't I have it? I thought I had the what's it called? The grid. I might have taken out the bracket. The bracket. I'm sure everyone saw the bracket, right? We've all seen the bracket of the 16 contestants lined up down each side, and you kind of get they're encouraging you to predict your fights, pick your winners, who will be standing in the end. I'm not spoiling nothing, but all I will say is no matter how many brackets were made, no one will be able to predict the way that this plays out. You know, in theory, you think that at least one person might get it right. You know what I mean? I'm calling it right now. I don't think anybody will be able to predict a correct bracket all the way to the end. I made my predictions, and we're one issue in come tomorrow. And I'm telling you what, my predictions were already turned on their head. The bad guys in Absolute Universe think they are the good guys, a lot like in real life these days. I don't know. They completely recognize that doing bad is the right thing, right? It's explained very well by the Smiling Man in Absolute Evil. They were doing the LHC, the Large Hadron Collider, where we discovered the Higgs boson particle in real life. They kind of play into that and talked about their further experiments. They discovered the Omega particle, which isn't only part of physical reality, that it has a spiritual component to it. And that's where it gets into the nuance of the whole build of this universe, is that spiritual component. That's what matters. That sets it apart from just like basic stuff. Space Case Collectibles, what is going on, homie? Good to see you here. Lord of Brooklyn, greetings to you, good sir. Eric Thompson, what's up? What's up? How is it going? How is your day so far? Hope it's good. Hope it's well. Let's go. Got Marty coming in for that $2 super chat. It's that time. That means it's crypto time. Dude, I love that clip now, man. I've watched that movie so many times already. Now that I got my Steelbook in, we watched it on that the day it came in, and then it hit HBO Max shortly after that. And yeah, it's so fun. Is that 12-year Burke? I don't know what that means. Cosmic One, what is going on? Did you get the bracket poster? I didn't get the poster. I'll tell you what. after reading issue 1, I don't even want the poster of the bracket. Like the bracket to me at this point, because I read DCKO last Thursday or Friday. I read it a long time ago at this point. As soon as it came into the shop at Lunar Ships early, I sat down in the shop where all the books come out of the boxes and get organized and stuff and get them prepped and all that stuff. I sat back there and read it. And I immediately thought that bracket means nothing anymore. The bracket means nothing. It was a great marketing tool, but the bracket means nothing. Yeah, speaking of shipping, the box of stuff I mailed off to Rob for C3 yesterday cost 56 postal service rates and getting ridiculously more expensive. Good grief. What did you put a brick in it? Did you put a brick in there, Joe? Where'd you ship it through? Did you go to UPS? That's crazy. 56. That's Canada and Australia shipping numbers right there. That's expensive. I had to look at it and see the bracket they put out. May not match the yeah, dude, the bracket is for the win, isn't it? Now they better come tomorrow. Official pages better post a new bracket. We want a new bracket. We need an updated bracket. Or maybe wait till Thursday. Wait till Thursday. There's a new bracket. I will tell you this. There is a bracket on the last page of the book. And it's not that the contestants have changed or anything, but there's an updated bracket on the last page of the book. And that bracket should go out Thursday. That would be hilarious. I mean, you put it out Wednesday, obviously be a spoiler, but there needs to be a new bracket. I'm absolute aggressively relaxing now. You guys can't see it, but I'm wearing a flak jacket and the hem of my back clothes looks all jagged and cool on my way to Walmart. That's amazing. What is up, AR? Good to see you. What's going on, Martin? Good to see you in here, homie. How's it going? Hello to Pop Pop. Good comic day. Good comic people. What is going on, Dead Man? Good to see you in here. Pop's throwing those custom emojis. You get access to those from joining the channel membership. Canadian Survivalist, what is going on? USPS, remember all those comics I told you I was sending to Rob for C3 Mark? I remember you mentioned them. I don't remember what they were, nothing. Hope they're good books, Joe. Hope they're good books. King Omega Lex. See, I was talking with somebody today. I'm like, man, I could see Lex getting it. Just, thinking about Superman is kind of, that seems so on the nose, right? I can see Lex getting it. Another thing with this being an apocalypse-based story, right? Darkseid and everything. What if a new god gets it? Over in Rom V's New Gods, we have the birth of a new god happened over there, but that hasn't really been folded into the KO stuff. But Barda's on the contestant list. The one at the end isn't even correct. I know, man. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. If you are absolute, then you need to be 10 foot and 800 pounds because everyone is jacked. Yeah, they really are. You have to be ruthless. Superman can't do that. Wait till you read issue 1. Wait till you read issue 1. I guess we can talk about the preview pages for it at least. If you picked up DC Comics over the last 2 weeks, in the back of the book, they had these preview pages, and it was like the first 4 issues of the event, of the story, of the what's happening. Let me see, I got this up here. And in those first few pages, it shows you Bruce, Diana, Lois, and Clark sitting around playing a board game made by the toy company M. Malone Industries, which is hilarious. But that's what the theme of those pages were, is that Superman doesn't like, or Clark doesn't like playing these games because he doesn't want there to be a winner. He wants everyone to win. He's not even thinking about losers. Like, nah, we don't even need to worry about losers. We just need to figure out how everyone can win. And that's kind of the theme. That's the preview pages for a reason, right? Like, that's what they'll do, is try to find a way for everyone to win. But with this event, let's read the synopsis for this first and see where it takes you, because I don't want to get into spoilers, because this book is like, it's got shock value to it. It's a page turner. The heart of apocalypse has transformed Earth into a hellscape in preparation for the return of Darkseid. The end of the DC universe is here. So the heart of apocalypse was introduced last week inside the Omega Pack, the Omega Act, that one shot. You get this flashback to Krypton with Supergirl and Feora, where they're kind of hopping around this old installation. And it seems to be an old installation where they're genetically modifying Doomsday, like ancient Krypton stuff. And in there, they found this hidden tunnel where they find this heart, and you don't really know what it is. You just know it's kind of calling to them. But they get into it in this. They explain it in more detail. It's called the Heart of Apocalypse. And let's see, the Justice League's only chance to defeat Darkseid is to enter a deadly tournament, an epic and over-the-top battle royale that will surprise you. Facts. The world's greatest heroes fight to become the champion to enter the ring against Darkseid. But there's a catch. The closer you get to the Heart of Apocalypse, the more it corrupts you, changes you into something dangerous. With DC characters has what it takes to make it to the end, who is willing to do what it takes to win it all, even if it means taking down their friends and family. You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. So we also had some other breakdowns in the solicitation stuff. KO means knockout. Like that's the play on the word here. Like the big tournament, them all battling, heroes and villains, everyone against each other. But the KO actually means King Omega. So if you've been reading up to this point, you know that Darkseid was presumed dead. He's actually like this final form kind of version of Darkseid. Like it's been kind of touched on in different stories over the years, like how the Darkseid we see is an avatar of this ultimate power. This is kind of getting into the mechanism that feeds him that power. That's a lot of what this gets into. And that's where they get to this King Omega thing. The heroes are fighting for the ability to get to that power level, to be fed that source of power so that they're capable of stopping Darkseid. If you read those preview pages, you know the Darkseid is like omnipresent now. No matter what window somebody looks out of on Earth, you saw Darkseid, this like towering over the city. Everything that everyone was touching was turning them into a like almost the whole anti-life equation thing. So that's the purpose of the tournament. Now, is this like a Mortal Kombat tournament? Like, do they get an invitation? Do they have to go to an island? Do they all have to agree to this? No, it's not like that. They're going to explain, because I think that was kind of corny on face. If I'm being honest, I'm like, it's kind of corny. I'm sure it'll be fun, but nah. So Snyder does what Snyder does, like with the Dark Knight's Metal or Death Metal, like some of these really fantastical concepts. He introduces a concept, he throws it out there, then he blows past it. So yeah, there you go. That's why it's happening. That's how it's happening. Keep in mind this Heart of Apocalypse. Other things, Apocalypse, New Genesis, Fourth World, adjacent, they're kind of beyond our comprehension to a degree. Like think of the mother boxes. Those are living machines. If you think back to Zack Snyder's Justice League movie, when Cyborg is trying to separate the mother boxes to keeping them from forming the unity, he actually goes inside of it, like physically represented inside of it, speaking to the other entities, all these things. You really got to remember that wavelength of storytelling and that lore that goes along with DC stuff. Once you can get on that wavelength, you're there. Because I'm telling you right now, Scott Snyder is on that wavelength. We're dealing with Fourth World stuff here. So get ready for it to be big, because that's what it is. The entire universe is on the line. The stakes couldn't be higher. But at the same time, there's always going to be safety nets, right? Always going to be safety nets. But Superman's going to have to step up. They talk about that in this first issue. Man, that's hot. They are mainstream. About to go to work. What's the hashtag for the giveaway? I suggest hashtag TCKO. That's a good hashtag. I'll keep the tab open. Wonder Woman will be King Omega. You think so? Looking at her side of the bracket, you know, going back to that original bracket, I was thinking like who could stop her, you know? And here I thought KO meant Kevin Owens. Maybe it does. Kind of curious about this DC KO title. Check it out, dude. Highly recommend. Highly recommend. I'd do the ending of it. You will never see what's coming. It's tough. And this cover A right here, this is actually an acetate cover. You open it up and you get the full virgin cover, that awesome splash page. I don't know who does the art on that. But there's a lot of retailer exclusives with this as well. I think this is big time collectibles, glow in the dark. Yeah, that's pretty wild. What is this? Clay Man variant, comic sketch art. That's the Jim Lee right there. Let's see if I can make this a little bit smaller. That's the Jim Lee cover. The Daniel Warren Johnson one, I got to tell you, I'm not a fan of this. I like the idea of Superman fighting Darkseid. I like Daniel Warren Johnson. But ever since we got to like that Transformers #1, like he's been, and I know he's a fan of the wrestling stuff. I know like while his wife was pregnant and the baby got there and he was spending a lot of nights awake rocking the baby, he got into New Japan Pro Wrestling and it kind of translated over to a lot of his art. I don't care about watching the heroes doing wrestling stuff. It's almost like the gimmick covers they did last March where you had superheroes holding basketballs. Like, yeah, I get it. There's overlap in fandoms and all that, but I don't know. Not a fan of this one. It's still a good piece of art, but I'm just not a fan of it. Frank Cho, gorgeous Frank Cho there. Fighting on the rubble of Metropolis with the Daily Planet back there. The Jay Lee. It looks like Captain Marvel. I don't know, like he's fighting to arm wrestle with Superman. A little disrespectful to the big red cheese. This is cool. Mike Del Mundo variant. That's pretty wicked. The Trinity holding the world on their backs. Oh, this is crazy. This Ben Oliver one. And you see the little sparkles on his knuckles. That's actually a bunch of mini suns that he forged in the Fortress of Solitude that he was able to go pick up and put on like brass knucks. Here we go. The cover H, the Dan Mora bracket wraparound. That's pretty dope. That actually made it to the thumbnail today. Oh, wraparound. That's crazy. Not everyone makes it in issue 1, guys. Not everyone makes it. The Mark Spears trading card. He's been doing a set of these. We have a few of them out already. Bizarro, Aquaman, Wonder Woman, and now the Darkseid one. So keep in mind, these variants that we're looking at, these are what are included in those blind bags. So foil versions in the blind bags. Grab you one of those and then see what you pull. I saw foil one of these, and and then if you get a gold one, you get those high-end ratios. Javier Fernandez, that's who does this art. Dude, he crushed it. Javier Fernandez did his job on this cover. I mean, that is a nice cover. You got those sun knuckles on there. Starro getting Giganta in the background. Just a who's who of the DCU just battling it out on the cover there. That's awesome. And then the AEW cover, because we need wrestling stuff. Got Hangman Adam Page there with Lobo. Art by Dan Morrigan. I don't know. I'm terrible with names. This one is beautiful. L. Scott Koblish. Gorgeous cover. This one's a foil one too, I believe. Just the regular one is foil. But man, it's got this classic modern look to it. Firestorm and Captain Atom fighting. You got Superman and the big red cheese on there. You got Orion blasting. Just, I love these. They remind me of George Perez stuff when you just pack this many characters on them. It's just wicked cool stuff. Wicked cool stuff. Let's see. What about my boy Chris Smith on the final episode of season 2? Oh man, I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it. Swamp Thing is my dark horse pick to win. That would be cool. That'd be cool. Like Darkseid's messing with his planet. He's tapped in with the Parliament. He's kind of the avatar of Earth, and Earth is under siege. Not just the people on it, but the planet itself. Typically, I would say like that would trigger the Swamp Thing response, but if you corrupt Earth, you're instantly corrupting his ability to do anything. That's his power source. What is going on, James Willie? Good to see you in here. Wow, Jim Lee is fire. Yeah, the Darkseid one. That was actually the copy that I read last week. And Warren Johnson, fire. I like the D-Dubs cover, fire. I almost cried when John Cena cried out last episode. Hopefully no spoilers, dude. It was insane. Yeah, feel free to full spoiler talk about Peacemaker. I mean, it's been out for almost a week now. I hate the AEW coverage. Trash. Oh, man. Oh, man. Passionate Matt here. They should have put people in the stands. You remember the Muhammad Ali Superman one when you had all the different celebrities drawn and hidden in the stands? They should have done that. Like, even if it's just like the employees of DC Comics. Wouldn't that have been a lot cooler? Wouldn't that have been a lot cooler? I think so. I got the Adam Page AEW variant. Mini Sun Knuckle Dusters. Yeah. It looks like those cards from 1991. Yep. The Cosmic cards is what they're called. Yep. Cosmic Cards. Remind me, the Wonder Woman cover I saw this a few weeks. Yeah, like I just mentioned, there's a Wonder Woman one, a Bizarro one, there's a Superman with Crypto one, there's an Aquaman one that are already out and more to come. If I wanted to win this KO event, I would go to the bathroom. I would go the Batman route and use everything I know about all of them against them. LOL. Bro, you're gonna your comment is hilarious. I'm gonna screenshot this and I'm gonna look forward to you reading this later. But yeah, the Tower of Babel route, that would be one way to take it. Lobo as a wrestler fits very well. I think so. Adam Page wouldn't stand a chance against Lobo. Let's be honest. No human on Earth would they? If we're being honest, this man fist fights with Superman. Check this one out. That's pretty cool. This is the 1 in 25 Nubovich variant. Nubovich. Batman with the spear and the shield. Wonder Woman with the mace. Superman with the hands wrapped up. All right, blind bag, alternate foil. Are they just going to do that for all of them? Oh, so the blind bag 1 in 1,000 is the sketch variant right there. 1 in 250 blind bag, alternate foil. Yo, what's different? There's a foil one of this that's not in the blind bag. So how's the one in the blind bag any different? The 1 in 250. I don't know. 1 in 500 Jim Lee foil. Blind bag foil. So yeah, all of these are possibles to get in the blind bag. So I've seen variants that have not been shown in there yet. So I'm guessing they're just from where people share stuff online, maybe they're able to see and start adding those blind bags to the list. Maybe Brock Lesnar. Yeah, he's the only chance we got, isn't he? That'd be about it. Raider Nation said, I'm setting a high bar for this last episode of Peacemaker. James has been saying that it's what he pitched for the DC universe cinematically, and I'm excited to see what he has in store. I can tell you my predictions on that. In terms of his, like, this is what I pitched. Keep in mind the Quantum Folding Closet was in Peacemaker Season 1. So we know that we have this Matt Reeves Batman universe. We know that we have this DCU. You know that they announced they want to do Elseworld stuff. Think of like those old intros to anthologies and stuff that have been done before. Now picture like the DC studio logo rolling before you watch something. You know, it comes up, you see Superman break the chains. It says DC Studios. The logo flips around, and then you fade into the black. And when it fades up, you're in the Quantum Folding Closet, first person perspective, and you're moving around, going past the doors and stuff, and you come to a door and it says Earth 22. And then you open the door and you enter a standalone Kingdom Come something. Or you go into any door, you know, you go to a door and it says Earth 52, and you go in and then you watch Matt Reeves' The Batman Part 2. It's a cool way that they could creatively have a multiverse without it being bogged down by what's going on with like the Flash movie or all of the MCU, how people pretty much rejected the multiverse upon arrival, so much so that South Park even made jokes about it. You can have a multiverse, but it doesn't have to be interrupting your main DCU stories. You can just run your main DCU stuff and tell these one-off stories, and the Quantum Folding Closet could be us as the viewer, as well as in continuity of the universe, our method in which we are visually shown how this happens. How do we have a Brave and the Bold Batman movie and a Robert Pattinson Batman movie? Well, one's in this door, one's in that door, and they don't even know each other exist. The Jim Lee is cool, but the Superman with the mini sun knuckles is the coolest. Yeah, that Ben Oliver's dope. As much as I was like a wrestling, not really a fan of the covers of the wrestling crossovers. Yeah, I'm not either. This is the cover A underneath DCKO cover. Yeah, that was it. Speaking of Lex Luthor, thoughts and prayers for Nick Holt. He went through surgery for his knee and is now saying he is unable to walk. So hopefully he can be back on his feet again soon. Oh, man, I didn't hear about that. That's rough. Hope he's all right. I know they moved the filming schedule up for Superman Man of Tomorrow. I found that out this past Sunday. They're aiming to start shooting in April. That's crazy. I'm ready to get some other stuff than just the James Gunn stuff. But yeah, Absolute Batman number 13. We're giving one of these away today. That beautiful Nick Dragotta cover. Batman's final showdown with the monstrous Bane. Will he be able to overcome this unstoppable behemoth, or will be trapped in Arkham forever? Yo, I swear they have to have some of these solicitations absolutely wrong. There's no way that's. What are they talking about? When did the last Absolute Batman come out? Let me look at this real quick. So number 12. I'm about to read the, all right, so here's the last issue. Is that showing up? I want to read the solicitation for this last issue. Bane presses the attack. Batman is at the mercy of the monstrous Bane, and though his body has seen better days, his spirit will be strong, but how much longer can he withstand Bane's brutal onslaught? So that was the last issue. So with this one, this is not the solicitation for this issue. It doesn't even make sense. Batman's final showdown with the monstrous Bane will be in the next issue. Will be in issue 14. But this is clearly, you saw the way the last issue ended with Catwoman showing up, yoking up Alfred. This one is going to diving into Catwoman and her part to play moving forward. They're planning a call out, and that they're planning that final confrontation with Bane. This issue was dope though. I like the direction it's going. Man, I'm loving every bit of Absolute Batman. It was a little wonky getting in its groove, but it definitely got in its groove. Definitely got in its groove. What is going on, brother? We got my main man Adam in here. Shout out legends. Fire, 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 fire. Statue of Liberty. Statue of Liberty. Statue of Liberty. Statue of Liberty. Hashtag NYCC. Rups Comics. Legion, Legion. There we go. There we go. Hope you have fun at the show, brother. I look forward to hopefully trying to catch some of your little whatnot shows and stuff. I know it's living the dream, man. Traveling, getting to do comic shows for a living and stuff, man. Super duper fun. Shout out to our man Durs. Make sure y'all go follow Rups Comics over on the whatnot if y'all do any of the whatnot stuff. He's good people. When? I absolutely don't know. Apparently, that walking stick Lex was using in his Peacemaker cameo was not just a prop. It's a good point. Is that true? Oh man, I didn't ever think about that. Definitely didn't think about that. By the way, the new Batman series, fire, 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 fire. So good. Agreed. And he's giving Izzy a kiss. Kissing Izzy. We got a next super chat from Steven with the C. He says, 2 more to go. Boom. Big shout out. Thank you to Steven with the C. As a reminder to everybody, we got the 3 giveaways for today. Plus, we'll throw in all the bonus prizes if we hit that super chat goal. So let's get it there. Let's get it there. And these are a big giveaway today. That blind bag's a $10 book on its own. And it could be worth hundreds of dollars. I blame crypto. Yeah, we all did, didn't we? Wonder what was wrong with his knee to begin with. But yeah, this was super dope. There's a couple of really cool variants out there. Look at that. Gorgeous. And if you notice what's in her right hand right there, did not see that coming in this issue. Oh, that's a Comics Elite Comic Traders 616. It looked like a big joint exclusive. A couple of these retailers all went in together. But her tail / whip, it just like with Batman, just like how they shocked us with Batman and his cape and the functionality, the utility of it. They do the same thing with Catwoman in this. Like you get to get introduced to her just like we did Batman. There's a lot that's different about her. Action Comics 1091 is out this week. I believe that this is the final issue of the Superboy story that we've been doing, which I wish they would just keep doing it. Having an ongoing Superboy book is fantastic. And the fact that we have the Superman Unlimited started right as the Superboy story started, that kind of separated it where we don't have like 4 or 5 different Superman books coming out at the same time. We had one that's Superboy. Superboy learns what it really means to be a hero when given the choice between life and death for the former hero that has been tormenting him. Will Clark have what it takes to save Smallville and find a cure, or is the young hero in over his head? Yeah, this has been dope. This has been really cool. Oh, man, look at this. Look at that cover. That's gorgeous. That's super, super gorgeous. I like that a lot. I don't know what they have planned for Action Comics after this. If it's just going back to another Superman story that'll kind of be like what they did with the Superman Superstars, where you got like 3-issue story arcs by different creators. I don't know. There's no clue if Mark Wade's staying on it or what, but he's doing a lot of work right now. He's doing a lot of work. Definitely been enjoying it, though. Action Comics has been solid. See, Batman and Robin number 26 is out. This is the Philip Kennedy Johnson book. That's a beautiful cover right there. Fighting the Quiet Man. No clue what's going on in this. It's one that I just never dove into. Never dove into it. Absolute Harley Quinn doesn't look as extreme as I thought she would look. Oh, Roscoe already got his. Unless you saw it online. Yeah, well, cat's out of the bag. Yeah, Absolute Harley Quinn is making her first premiere in this week. Yeah, she's kind of I guess she's kind of like tamed down compared to the normal one. Yeah, she's I don't want to get into spoilers. I'll just leave it at that. I heard this morning on a podcast that Lex scene from Peacemaker was filmed before Superman was done filming. There you go. We have the $2 super chat from Dersey Boys. Spears blind bags over KO. Let's give him Cross-Eyed Clark for that. Cross-Eyed Clark. 557 variants. I got a stack of those trick-or-treat bags coming from Mark Spears. I enjoy his art tremendously. I enjoy his art more than anything on the Universal Monster stuff. And those Spears blind bags only like $5 or $6, something like that. So I got a small stack of them. Those things are going to be so oversaturated in the market. So oversaturated. Instantly. Instant oversaturation. If there's ever going to be a time, that Mark Spears that his draw hits a tipping point, because he's the biggest working comic artist right now, cover artist especially. If there's ever a tipping point for him to get oversaturated, it will be exactly 17 days after those blind bags start getting opened. I think it's on the 15th. That'll be the day. That'll be the day. I hope it doesn't happen, but I think that's going to be it. It's still going to be highly sought after, but that's going to be the day that the oversaturation hits. He did like 4 years worth of covers all in one drop. That's a crazy idea. I think it would have served him better. I'm not a professional in the industry, but I think it would have served him better to have like a very tight, like whatnot formula. I think if he would have done a whatnot formula to these bags, he would have done better. Done like 4 covers, a couple variations of those covers to chase, and then like a 1 in 1,000, a 1 in 500, a sketch cover, signed one. You know what I mean? Added in some sugar books. I think that would have helped him out a lot in the long run. The Peacemaker scene was an early recording. DCKO Day. Yeah, dude. Insane. It's good seeing you here, Trev. Hope you're doing good, brother. Where's Absolute Saturn Girl in? The Absolute Saturn Girl, which it gets a little bit in the weeds here, but you can find her in the last 3 issues of Superman proper. The Legion of Darkseid has attacked Earth and helping to usher in Darkseid and stuff, and that's been the stellar, absolutely stellar story happening in the 3 most recent issues of Superman proper. Highly recommend checking him out. Even if you if you can't find him at your comic shop, if you just download the DC app, get it for a month and just catch up on reading some of the recent stuff, read those and read the Justice League books that coincide with it. They release on the same week. You will not be disappointed. You will not. Hey, we got Izzyverse rejoining the channel membership. Big shout out to Izzy.
You want blood? Go get it!
Ooh, I love the King of Atlantis. It's my dude. That's my dude. Big shout out and thank you to Izzy. He's going to be helping us out a lot like he always does, donating his time, his logistic skills, his artistic skills as well. He'll be doing a show again this year for Comics Curing Cancer. So big shout out to Izzy. He'll be at NYCC all weekend, but make sure you go check out his stuff. He's doing the sketchy show and all that. He does those market report things. If you're into keeping up with the tracking the stuff, and he does his a lot different than a lot of other people. Puts a lot more effort into it too. I'll tell you that. On the topic of Peacemaker, cameo with Blue Beetle would make since it's a Charlton Comics character. Yeah, we've been, man, every week since this show started. I'm live on Sunday nights for At Weeks In where I talk full spoilers, but I've been pushing, I have been begging, I've been wanting Charlton characters so bad. I will tell you who's not going to show up though. Peter Cannon Thunderbolt will not show up. I was this week years old when I found out that when DC bought Charlton, they clearly didn't get the Peter Cannon license somehow. I don't know the details of that. I haven't taken the time to go in and look, but you never see him. Like Peacemaker pops up, Question pops up, Blue Beetle pops up, Nightshade clearly pops up. All of these people pop up over the years since Crisis when they fold him in. You never saw Peter Cannon pop up. And now Dynamite Comics has announced and they're soliciting and previewing in their books that there's a upcoming Peter Cannon Thunderbolt comic coming, which I'll be getting, but it's under Dynamite. But I think one of my first predictions that I thought made sense was use these doorways, or don't use these doorways, but bring in Ted Kord. Because we got at the end of Blue Beetle that Ted Kord is still alive out there. Bring in Ted Kord, because then that gives you the springboard for two different directions. We know that they're doing the Jaime Reyes Blue Beetle TV show to continue on from the movie. Well, we need Ted Kord over there. We know that we're doing the live action Booster Gold. Well, we need Ted Kord over there. We have two announced in production projects that both pretty much require Ted Kord. So they need to bring Ted Kord in there. But yeah, that's a character that I'd absolutely love to see. Love to see me some Ted Kord. Question, Captain Adam, any and all of them, any Charlton characters, I'm all for. But at this point in the show, right? At this point, what really can they do that'll be a meaningful appearance? You know, they introduced Judo Master early on in season 1, and we got a chance to know him and do stuff with him and stuff like that. But now what will it be? I don't know. Welcome back, brother. Welcome home. Laughing emoji, fire. Don't forget to read those monsters. Top 5 best reads for me. First off, you're crazy outside of your mind thinking that those are a top 5 read. Second off, I'm excited to find out that you're reading them because I think I'm the only person reading that series sometimes. And I was talking to Heroes for Hire, and because he gets his stuff mailed. So he's just a couple of weeks behind where I was reading. So him and I were talking about it. No one talks about the story of monsters. No one talks about that book. I absolutely love that book. Let me put that out there first. Now, let me follow it up with a little bit of honesty. I love it because I'm super biased to Universal Monster stuff. Super biased. That being said, it's clearly the first time this guy's ever written a comic book. He might have tried before and done some stuff. This book is so difficult to read and so poorly scripted, it blows my mind as I read it. Now, to add that again, I still want people to give it a shot if you're into these monster things, but I couldn't get, like y'all know that I do. I'll tell you when something's good. I'll tell you when it's bad. I'll split the difference and tell you when I like it despite these things. Monsters is one that I like despite the quality of the writing. It's not a top 5 for anybody. There's no way it's even a top 5 for you. I'm aware of some of the things you've read. I can name 5 things that you read that are guaranteed to be better than this, but we all have our bias. So if it's a top 5 bias list, that's fair. I have my top 5 bias list. I have my top 5 quality list, all that. But me and Heroes for Hire, we're trying to find a little gap in our scheduling where we both can sit down and we're going to do like a review of monsters because no one's really like talking about the story. It's just a cover chase for most of the readers. 2 Kickstarters, October blind bags, and now Christmas blind bags, opposite of oversaturation, about to go nuclear on another level, in my opinion. You get, I don't know, man. I don't know. 2 Kickstarters. The stuff that's coming out direct market, so they double dip the Kickstarters. Monster and the Wolf kicks off direct market with the blind bag, so they're double dipping the second Kickstarter, and you have the constant variants for Image and DC. It's at the point where most of his stuff now is you can get for undercover price now, unless it's like chase books under Monsters. And now with doing more cons and steel and metal covers and stuff like that, it's making the more low print run stuff, the higher end stuff. So like anything that you go into a comic shop to get of his isn't really going to be worth chasing. It's at the point now where it's kind of like tapering off. It's the same thing that a lot of us have seen happen with most of the cover artists that explode. It's the same thing. Happened with Clayton Crane, happened with Peach Momoko. It happens with all of them. Hell, it was Art Germ when he first got here. Like, it's the same thing with all of them. They all hit an oversaturation point. And it's nothing against them. They should hit that point when they've worked for long enough, successfully enough, that they're just working. The saturation thing is on a consumer end, not on a creator end. We got it, Panda. What is going on, brother? Welcome back. Got Panda rejoining the Legion. Good to see you in here, brother. Good to see you in general, homie. One of the earliest friends that I made on the platform, Adrian, was awesome to see you. Love you, my dude. Darkseid. That will be his Christmas blind bags, I think. Yeah, I'm excited for those, dude. I like his stuff. Absolutely enjoy his stuff. Peter of Triple G Comics has bought 100 of those blind bags. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Durs. Well, I was talking to Durs. Here we go. I was talking to Durs, who has a little bit of detailed information. This was a while back. He was telling me about people that bought how many was there? You have to drop a comment for accuracy, but there's people that had bought like hundreds, like 500 of them. They bought 1,000 of them because they're banking on the chases that are in it, kind of thing. 13 golden tickets, 1 of 1, 9.8 covers. There you go. Yeah, like those should be in it, but I think he should have limited the total number of covers. You know what I'm saying? But I guess if you're one of those people that are buying 100 of them, like the more covers, the better. If you're trying to get a whole set. Indie artists using computers, okay. But using AI is evil. I'm confused. Right? I think people are kind of, I wonder how many people know how Mark Spears does his art. It's very similar to what Bjorn Barons does. Bjorn Barons works with like 3D modeling and stuff like that. Then you find like the angle of your 3D model you want. You have to create the 3D model, like AI is not really creating your 3D model. I'm sure there's components to it, but you create your 3D model, you find your angle, and then you still shot it, and then you have to paint it digitally, color it digitally. But yeah, I do. I still support Francesco Mattina heavily. Like all the stuff that Mattina does with Dynamite, like on all these Hanna-Barbera things, like he got in trouble with DC for AI art, but I was talking to like a legit pro and about AI art, AI prompts and stuff, and he brought up the point like when they were creating these models, right? Like Alex Ross was one of the first artists that his work got scanned and ripped to be put into this model for people to like start building off of. Mattina was one of these first people to get ripped. So if your work, your personal work that you've already worked on is ripped to be put into this model, and you tell this model to bring up an image in your work, and you weren't paid when it ripped you for it, it kind of gets paradoxical. What is going on, Billy? Good to see you in here, brother. The Spears blind bags are coming soon, but apparently some people tried to sell them before the release date. Oops. Yeah, they knew what they were doing. So you could order blind bags through Lunar, or you could order them straight from KeenSpot, and they had to push back the street date on it for reasons. And some of the people that got theirs from KeenSpot shipped out early, and not thinking about how ridiculously terrible the whatnot zeitgeist is, and people racing to be the first ones to sell it to max out dollars and stuff. And some people are going to get in trouble with the distributors. I have 100 of them coming, getting another 100. We got 2,000 for the shop to go online. Good grief. I'm back, baby. Welcome back. All right, let me hit this real quick. Long Halloween issue number 9 is out. Yo, I stopped pulling this. The last Halloween, I stopped pulling it because of how long it was taking. I'm going to go back. I'm going to get it all. I'm going to read it. I'm excited to, but I wasn't about to keep pulling it because whenever I do that, I read it as it comes out. And I was just like, man, it was well crafted. I was excited for it. I got 3 issues in and timed out. There's going to be 10 of them. So we're 1 issue away from finally finishing it. We'll get there. Batman Dark Patterns, issue number 11. This is the Dan Waters story. A lot of good stuff has been said about it. It's one that I didn't pick up. Again, a lot of Batman stuff I pick and choose. I stick close to the continuity timeline. So I might go back and read this one day. We'll see. There's a lot of stuff on the to read list. Superman, the Kryptonite Spectrum, I dropped. A lot of Superman stuff out there right now. I don't need it. It was just I don't know. It's not a gimmick book. If you're a fan of Ice Cream Man, this is the same creative team, but I don't read Ice Cream Man. I don't really care. And it was just them going through a bunch of different kryptonite that they just discovered and how it's quirkily affecting Superman. They're just going through testing them all. So I don't know where it'll go ultimately, but pass. I don't know how many issues it's supposed to be, but pass. There's a lot of Superman stuff out there right now. That one didn't make the cut. Supergirl issue number 6. I didn't even try it. I saw the kind of corny artwork in it, and Sophie Campbell's not a writer that I know of well enough to trust the story kind of thing. I read some of issue 1. I'm like, this is lame, which I thought was a bold strategy, especially with Supergirl getting the hype right now that she's getting with the movie coming. You should have put some A-listers on it and drawing in some new fans. Now, this is one that I read immediately. Part 6 of 6, the finale to the Starbreaker Supremacy. You know what I was talking about earlier, like how DC hasn't done any of these massive events, but they've done like crossovers. So Green Lantern and Green Lantern Corps are the 2 ongoing Green Lantern titles. So this Starbreaker Supremacy story goes from, part 1 is in Green Lantern, part 2 in Corps, part 3 in Lantern, part 4 in Corps, and so on. They built up to this from the start of the first one where Jeremy Adams took over. It's been dope. It's been really good. This final issue, it's huge. It's vast. That last issue, we saw that John Stewart sacrificed his own life to reignite the batteries. So some big stuff is happening. I've been saying it since issue 3 of Green Lantern Corps that massive universe-altering events are happening in the pages of these books. And no different there. There's a major twist at the end of this that makes you rethink the entire look at Green Lantern since Future State, really. And we'll be getting into that Sunday night, talking full spoilers and all that. But this is just all-out war, battle royale. They have rebuilt a lot of the status quo that was established by Jeff Johns. It was kind of, over time, you write toward things and away from things. Jeff Johns wrote into the whole Lantern spectrum, the different rings, the entities, all that stuff. And then over time, you just kind of write away from it. But that was like the new status quo that you really want to keep around to a degree. Jeremy Adams has written back to it. We are there. We are back. So if you haven't jumped on Green Lantern, I would say the next issue might be a really good jumping on point, or you might have to wait a couple issues depending on how much it ties into the KO event. But there's about to be the very familiar status quo of Green Lanterns that was established in the early 2000s to kind of jump in and run from. So big shout out to Jeremy Adams doing the Lord's work in Green Lantern and Aquaman both, like doing massive things. And he's moving toward the status quo with this one that's been missing, that's been needed, like that absence has been noticed. But and I'd say in Aquaman, he's moving farther away from it, but to the good. And that we can get into that a little bit. I guess it would be kind of moving back at the same time, though, because that's out this week as well. Awesome LeMay dropping them pandas. Oh, we got Mark Spector Comics rejoining the Legion. Big shout out to Dave. Good to have you back, brother.
I understand.
Back in there. Appreciate everybody jumping back in the channel membership. Yeah, get those numbers up. Let's get them up. It's a big month to be a channel member. Let's see. I think the cameo is Harley Quinn's second will be Lobo. Oh, you think Lobo's coming into the Absolute? Wasn't Peter Cannon Thunderbolt tied to a pulp? I don't know. You have to ask Pop that. Peacemaker is so cringe. I like watching it the same way I like watching a movie that is bad but entertaining because it's bad. I don't know. I highly disagree with that. Highly disagree. There's definitely cringe parts to be pointed out here and there, and I think a lot of that they're overly self-aware at it. But dude, yeah, highly disagree. If James Gunn can do one thing superhero related, I would want it to be Peacemaker. Like that's where his background with like trauma and his zaniness, like his R-ratedness, he can just really flourish. And he proved like with his second season that he can deliver inside of a short window too, because they reduced the length of the episodes down to half hour pretty much. And he's still gut punching and getting you to laugh. And yeah, some of it can definitely be, I mean, different strokes for different folks and all that, but definitely delivering. Definitely. I like to see the ROG 2000 from Charlton Heroes. You think they'll have GI Robot in the last episode? You know, I was early to that one to call that one out. You can check my IG. But I don't know. I think it would make too much sense in the way that we left the Earth X in the last one. I don't really necessarily see us going back over there. I don't think we have enough room in episode 8 to return to Earth X, because this second season is not story driven, it's character driven. It's a complete breakdown of Christopher Smith, and we haven't seen him more broken than he was at the end of episode 7. You know, he's lost. He discovers this other world. He's questioning his purpose on Earth 1. He decides that there's no place for Christopher Smith. So he goes to Earth X, and the unfortunate realization, and then what happens and everything, and that massive self-realization that he has at the end of the episode. And we saw from the trailer for episode 8 that he's completely content sitting in a cell, not being around anyone, not wanting to hurt anyone, just completely lost and broken. So they have 57 minutes to give him enough optimism to come out of that cell and at least accept his friends. Like, that's all we really got time to do. And we know we're going to spend a chunk of change just either cameo farming or montage through the quantum folding closet just for funsy purposes, seeing in the doorways of all these other little things. But how much is really going to be dedicated to moving the plot progression, moving the story forward? There, not too much time goes into it, but we definitely land the plane when he tries. But he's got to rebuild Christopher Smith. I'm more than anything expecting there to be some kind of Brainiac tease. The technology to these quantum folding doors, his helmets ultimately was stolen from Brainiac by that little alien or something, or New God's tech, something along those lines. But I don't see us taking Robot back over to Earth X. That should have been done in the last episode. Kind of cleared house in the last episode. I read issue 0 of Monsters, and now I'm wanting more, but got to catch up on things first before getting there. I think issue 0 was one of the better ones because they introduced the group of kids, almost like a Stranger Things Monster Squad group of kids, but they've literally done nothing for like 5, 6, 7 issues straight. Just sat on a water tower, serve no purpose. There is no overarching story. The only story that can be said that is present in Monsters as of right now is Dracula's gathering the monsters. Literally, that's it. Everything else is like I don't know, like an over-caffeinated fever dream writing of a script. It's kind of weird. Flashback to the origin of the Slayer, flash over to, oh, now the bride's in it. Now they have the bride. Where did the bride come from? What are they using the bride for? We don't know. Slayer's fighting Mr. Hyde, but not the Mr. Hyde, because in the last issue, we meet Dr. Jekyll again. And now he's Mr. Hyde now. And just nothing makes sense. Oh, wait, we have a ninja that's storming a military base, chopping people's heads off. Who's this ninja? We don't know. Does it matter? We don't know. Why are they in here? We don't know. There's nothing that anyone can describe about Monsters that begins to make sense of any kind of narrative storytelling. Not one thing outside of Dracula's alive. He's calling the monsters to him. That's it. That's all that can be made sense of. Just like half the DC and Marvel books that haven't been around for years, sorry to say, independent comics are light years ahead of them at the moment. I disagree heavily. I agree about Marvel. Ghost Machine, I'd say, is crushing it. But kind of what I mentioned earlier, the only disadvantage Ghost Machine has, and you mentioned it in your comic there too, is that they've been around long enough. So like with DC having been around longer, when you have proper creatives helming things, Joshua Williamson, Mark Waid, so on and so forth, Snyder, that know what they're doing, they know the lore, they understand the medium, they understand the fan base, they're able to make the punches land stronger. When they want to pull out the stops, they can make the meaningful moments 10 times meaningful. And like you said, it's because they have the lore, because they have the decades of fandom attached to it. So those moments can definitely hit. What they're crafting with Energon is impressive. It's pretty good. I'm about ready to drop G.I. Joe, but it's still really good. What they're crafting with Ghost Machine is exceptional. Exceptional. And I love the pacing that's taking its time. So they're definitely, 10 out of 10 stuff. And you could go as far as say what they're crafting with Absolute, because even though it's DC, it's still its own little world. It just started from ground zero. But you got other stuff that's been around a long time, like, and this is not a shock to you, like the Spawn Universe stuff. It's enjoyable. It's nothing to run and recommend to people. You'd recommend Absolute to people. You'd recommend Ghost Machine to people. You'd recommend Energon to people. You'd definitely recommend what's happening in current mainstream DC continuity to anybody. Thanks for the honesty. It's definitely a cover buy over reading by. Yeah. I heard Monsters 8 was left on a cliffhanger, so I'm waiting until 9 comes out. which one was 8? Was 8 the most recent one with the Headless Horseman cover? They're all kind of cliffhanger stuff. But to be fair, you can have a cliffhanger in 8 and you can pick up 9 and it doesn't even connect to it. That's the weird part. I'm fully convinced that James Gunn has no self-awareness filter. That's a wild thing to say, though, isn't it? That's wild to even think. Like, if you can even watch the podcast that he does after the episodes and the things that you might assume that of, he's breaking down those moments and talking about it and why and this and that. I think that he has his own little personality style and things that he thinks funny and all that, but I think he's very more self-aware than most other people in his industry. Definitely so. I think one thing that might be difficult for anybody in the movie industry is the time lag, right? The time from writing something to it coming out and how fast the world can change and events can impact and harm things. But yeah, I definitely think he's self-aware. DC did a Thunderbolt series in the early 90s. I think they licensed the character to Dynamite. That's probably why the new series is coming, so they can retain the license. Got to use it or lose it. Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely picking it up. Definitely picking it up. I agree. Definitely cover by, and I never hear anyone read it. Like, LOL, those homages was where it's at. There you go. So that's Steve and I'm glad you put that because I would have forgot. That'll be the hashtag later. You do not have to spam the chat right now. And when we pull up the giveaway, then feel free to do it. But I like being able to read the comments. So we'll use that hashtag. So if you have to dip out, we're getting close to when we'll do it. But feel free to drop it. But if you're not leaving, don't worry about spamming the chat. Ladies and gents, Dur's version of the 12 Days of Christmas song. Rook, Transformers, Ghost Machine, Exquisite Corpse Monster, top 5 reads out right now. Absolute Wonder Woman gets an honorable mention. Yeah, Rook, dude, I was so excited for the return of Rook, and they did not disappoint. The Transformers, I'm stoked to read the new creative team on it this week. Ghost Machine, always coming in. I hear nothing but good stuff about Exquisite Corpses. I picked up number 1 and for a giveaway. I didn't read it, but I'm glad that it's still maintaining. Monsters does not belong on that list. No way in HE double hockey sticks. That's, in my opinion, we're all entitled to our opinion. We have our bias list. If we were doing like a quality list, like I'm going to take that this is just a personal bias list, which we all have, which they're typically more enjoyable than trying to critique something. But if this was a critique list, it would be offensive to the other 4. It's like first year writer comes in top 5 list. That's, you know what I mean? The Absolute Wonder Woman is dope. Mark is 100%. But I'm telling you ahead of time, if you enjoy making money, collect everything Mark Spears now while you can. I don't know. I'm just calling out the patterns I see. You know what I mean? I hope he's the exception to the rule because I enjoy his art. I pick up I get more of the DC stuff if you're talking about cover buys, like the Green Lantern connecting cover set he did. These DC trading card ones, they're super cool. But ultimately, you know what I mean? Like I would say you can't look at it any other way than looking into the past. Look how Alex Ross hit this scene. Again, look at Crane, Peach, Art Germ. All these artists enter the industry no different than what Mark Spears is doing right now. One day they just exploded when they were early on. They stayed exclusive for a while, eventually sign on to a deal with somebody. Mark is in a unique place that we're not in the era anymore. You can kind of do the self-published stuff and all that. And I hope he maintains that. But ultimately, it'll come down to it. There's going to be a couple of books that just stay pumped forever, but it's already at the point where 90% of his covers are just going to maintain cover price or cheaper on the secondary market. Can't wait for Transformers tomorrow, and your tomorrow is coming sooner than ours. Yeah, man. I'm looking forward to it. Dude, the art, I'm telling you, DVH, I enjoy D-Dubs the whole way, but this art is 1,000 times more appropriate. Dan Mora. One away from meeting this week's Super Chat goal. There you go. Rook is my fave. I got to buy 2 copies because I read the crap out of that book. Yeah, dude. Rook is awesome. Spears does not use AI. No, the 3D model stuff. 3D model stuff. Rad's dropping real art regularly. Digital art is still art. It's not AI. You still need the skills to make it happen. I agree. You know, Alex Ross and Mark Spears both paint physically. You should look into his process. It's 8 steps. These nothing at all. Nothing about these monster covers are physical. They're all digital. He shared his process. Like I was watching Mark Spears stuff and because my buddy Alan is friends with him and they have this little bitty YouTube channel that I'm sure none of y'all probably know about. where Mark Spears would go on the YouTube channel and just hang out with his local friends. And he was sharing and talking about his art process over there. I'm not saying he doesn't paint physically, but these covers are not, these are not physically painted covers, right? Mark Spears churning out comics. Yeah, I hope he doesn't stop. There it is. He 3D renders it after he draws on an electric tablet, just like 80s of the artists these days. Yeah. It's digital artwork. It's not AI. Not AI. It's very similar to Bjorn Barron's work. Paint physical and is used the same thing. Game makers CGI and they get 3D model and it goes in. Boom, boom, boom. Sleeping Giants. They clown. Oh, they were the ones. Joffrey, what is going on, homie? Try cheesecake kryptonite. That'd be good, wouldn't it? Do you think they'll get a Hulk 181 cover homage for Predator Kills the Marvel Universe? I think that didn't they? Man, I think I already seen one of those. Or maybe it could have been some other Predator thing. 8 years to complete a book is the difference between great and good. Good. Hellfinch, yeah. Yeah, Panda is always good to see him. What's up, Tate? Full time. Yeah, just do a Panda After Dark special. What's going on, Anthony? Hello, hello. Anything new for Martian Manhunter? The Absolute Martian Manhunter just wrapped up its first mini-series. It'll be coming back for a second half of it after a couple of months. You can also find them on the covers of this week's DCKO. I'm not sure how big of an impact it will have on the interiors of the story, but no standalone stuff outside of the Absolute right now. Another $2 super chat. Got it from Heroes for Hire. Big shout out. Boom! Get the Aquaman clip. Love those things. A little late to the stream. Why is it a bit? Oh, because the if you're in the Legion tier, I do the channel member appreciation wheel at the end of the month, and it's the last month the celebrating Peacemaker. So I got planned ahead and got a lot of cool stuff going into that one. A lot of cool Peacemaker theme stuff, Suicide Squad theme stuff going in there, and because it's like some personal favorite stuff of mine. I'm a big Suicide Squad fan. I kind of go a little heavy in the paint. The prize, the value of the prize is loosely limited based on the number of channel members. The more channel members, because all the money that comes in from the channel membership just goes into funding that. Like, and then some. The monthly prize is always valued over what I make on this platform. But I tend to go more overboard some months than others based off my excitement level. Like when they did the anniversary of the death of Superman, the Legion loot was over a $500 prize tag because I was big excited for that and I planned way in advance for it. How many people are at work pretending to work? I know I am. There you go. There you go. Super chat gold met. There we go. Cena submitted himself as good actor. Yeah, he did. I want to see an Absolute Green Arrow and Absolute Two-Gun Kick. Good grief. Well, we're supposed to be getting an Absolute Green Arrow, but Oliver Queen died last week in the Absolute Universe. We got introduced to Hawkman, remember? And he's a hitter for the Absolute Justice team, aka Absolute Evil. And the very first thing that they did in that book introducing that was he busted Oliver's brains out the side of his head and went and dumped his body on the table in front of the villains. I'm thinking Roy Harper is going to be our Absolute Green Arrow. Yeah, I think Gunn said that. You can expect to see him, but not in that, right? Thunderbolt used similar elements to Green Llama and Pulp characters, but did so Amazing Man and Iron Fist. So, Absolute Robin. That'd be wild to see what that'll end up being. You're not a big fan of the current version of the Ultimate Universe? No, not really. Not really. I was a big fan of the first time Marvel did the Ultimate Universe. I tried out Spider-Man and I listened to everybody praising it, and I realized like this praise comes from a lack of quality. Like regular ASM sucks so bad, all these other stuff, like to the point where the main people that pull ASM are the ones that are just trying to keep their run alive. But we got a lot of like big time ASM fans, from Brian LCS to Rob's Fat Sacks of Comics, that are reading it despite it not being great and pulling it because they want to keep their run alive. Ultimate Spider-Man was the first glimpse of a readable Spider-Man story that we've gotten in a long time. So we're like, and this is my humble opinion, people are mistaking a 5, 6 out of 10 and calling it amazing, calling it a 9, a 10 out of 10. It's just not, it's just standard, it's basic. There's nothing about Ultimate Spider-Man that you read and you drop the book and you have to call your homie. Did you just read that? Did you just see what happened? Meanwhile, I can list you like 10 books, just monthly titles dropping from DC or Image that are like that. So I'm just not a fan. The Ultimate X-Men I tried, Peach's book was stupid. The story was lame. The Black Panther one I dropped after issue 1. I'm like, all right, this is corny. I'm just not seeing the quality over there. The last amazing things that I saw from Marvel was Zdarsky's Twilight miniseries was amazing. The ongoing Hulk right now is pretty decent with some issues that kind of hit a little bit above decent with what PKJ is doing, and I'm excited to see what he does with this Infernal Hulk. The brand new Benjamin Percy Punisher #1 was very good and very promising. I stand by Benjamin Percy as a writer for all the fantastic stuff he did with Ghost Rider over the past few years, and I'm excited to see what he does with Frank Castle. I did pick up the Ghost of Vengeance #1, the new Ghost Rider stuff. It's not by Percy, unfortunately, but it was decent. It was kind of a little all over the place, but there's a lot of stuff they're trying to place it because it's a book that has like all the current active writers. So I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt for now. But yeah, I'm just not a fan of what Marvel's doing with the Ultimate stuff. It falls flat, especially when you have the Absolute Universe out there, which I thought it was going to be kind of gimmicky from the front end of it, but you get into it and it's across the board, it's just insanely good. And then you get something like Forever Evil that shows you how much time, effort, and energy went into crafting this, and just wow. If you're missing Nemesis, you're missing out. I don't miss anything Miller World. I'm a diehard Miller World guy. Don't forget, like behind me and all my videos, behind this Turok is the entire Miller World, the entirety of it. And what's not in those trades is collected individually. But Nemesis Forever issue #2 is out this week. Can't wait. Had no clue that with Reloaded and Rogues Gallery, we were just kind of rebuilding this man from the ground up. What happened in Big Game, it was all a catalyst to get him back to almost like Nemesis Volume 1 version of Nemesis, which isn't even canon in the Miller World now. It's exists outside of it as a 4-issue standalone kind of thing, but he's going out with a bang now. Rook was great. DC has a few more writers that are way better than Marvel. Jed MacKay is the best writer Marvel has right now, in my opinion. Yeah, and that's fair. I know you you tell me about the X-Men book he's on, right? Like how it shocks you that it's as good as it is. Jed MacKay also wrote the Deadpool Batman crossover, and admittingly his story in it was like the weakest one outside of the Crypto Landshark one. Durs, if I can't but a piece of art on paper, I'm good. No, that's fair. Deja vu, glitch in the matrix. Hashtag Mark Spears money. Yeah, what is going on? Cliff, good to see you in here. I don't hear anything about the news story for Monsters. I read the Free Comic Book Day 1 and it wasn't bad. I just, everything about covers, no story. Dude, that's how it is. That's what I'm saying. That's why Heroes for Hire, he reached out to me because we talk on live streams and hang out often and stuff. And he's like, dude, we need to do a review of it and talk about it and put it out there. So hopefully other people potentially read it, because you can't scream about its quality and craftiness. But if you're a fan, if like me, if you want a random scene that just makes no sense, but for some reason now we're doing Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, fine, cool. I like to see Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, especially in this kind of artwork. I agree 1,000% with Mark Spears. Yeah, Izzy, you've been around, dude. You've been around like myself. There's nothing new under the sun. Riccardo Federici is one of my modern faves, dude. His pencil work is unmatched, right? Right? Which Cohen? You got Perillo, another good one. Perillo's doing the Blue Falcon covers right now, the A covers. Yeah, there really are a lot of good ones. And I'm not knocking the digital artists either. The ones like how Todd McFarlane, you're going to knock Todd McFarlane for grabbing his big tablet and grabbing his little plastic ink pen and drawing on the tablet just like you would with paper and a pencil. Like, it's almost impressive to know that he had to learn new skills to be able to change formats like that. Yeah. Yeah, he's definitely having a moment. And I want him to have his moment. Super excited for the last episode of Peacemaker. Can't wait for what's going to happen in the DC Cinematic Universe. Yeah, Gary, what is going on? Hey, we got a $2 super chat from Tate. Prime's a little extra to help Mark pay for that blind bag. Appreciate it, homie. The Thunderbolt that you're talking about, is that the same Thunderbolt that is in the Stargirl Season 2? No. You're thinking of the JSA Thunderbolt. Johnny Thunder, a.k.a. Jakeem. That's the Thunderbolt. He's a genie, a literal genie. Thunderbolt we're talking about is the Charlton comic Thunderbolt. Great comparison, and everyone will know him better this way. All the Watchmen characters from Watchmen are just literally put a different costume on them and give them a different nickname, and they're the Charlton characters. The comedian from Watchmen is Peacemaker. Night Owl from Watchmen is the Blue Beetle. Ozymandias from Watchmen is Peter Cannon. Green Arrow showed up and promptly was killed. Yeah, gone fast. But he was on the phone with Roy the whole time. So hopefully we still get absolute Green Arrow. Hopefully it's just like Arsenal version of Roy, but in green and 10 times more dedicated to hunting down Hawkman or something. Ultimate Wolverine is the best of the. Oh, I did read #1 of that. I enjoyed that. That was pretty good. I'm not going to lie. Peter Cannon, the Thunderbolt, was a Charlton Comics character. The only good thing in the Ultimate Universe has to be the Ultimate Spider-Man. I know a lot of people liking it. There you go, Pops. Pops was already on it. Yeah, hit that thumbs up. I appreciate it. Yep. Didn't Alan Moore want to use it? Yes. Dude, I have a fantastic video, like Where Are They Now, the Charlton characters. It actually ended up being an evergreen video, but I just love these characters. Thanks to my dad. Thanks to Pops, who taught me about Charlton Comics when I was a kid. And like Watchmen was something that felt taboo as a kid, knowing it's like an R-rated comic. And who are these DC heroes that look like no other DC comic character I've seen before? Oh, it's in its own universe. How do they get there? Will they ever come here? All this stuff. And Pops teach me about that early on. Just really, I've always had this like this curiosity. I had questions about the Charlton characters, and I like seeing them getting some love these days. It's fantastic. Yeah, the Question is just Rorschach. Yeah, so they bought out Charlton. Alan Moore's like, I got a great story for him. DC Reddit said, hell no. We plan on using these characters in our universe. You can't do this to him. He's like, fine, I won't. I'll write something else. And he went in and just changed their names. Steve McNiven and him redesigned their costumes, and we got the Charlton characters in Watchmen. It was fantastic. And now we have even extra characters. Peter Cannon hates pants. Yeah, T-Dubs was one of the first people I messaged. T-Dubs has been like on the tip of the spear when it came to Peacemaker predictions and stuff. And he's been pointing it out like Peter Cannon would be the easiest character to do if they wanted to bring in somebody and didn't have to fully commit to all this money and this and that, like CGI or anything like that. But Peter Cannon's at Dynamite right now. So interesting, right? Interesting. Let's see. All right, everyone dropping that hashtag. Pops Ray's a good boy. Watchmen is great. 1000%. It's one of my favorite movies of all time, too. It's one of my personal favorite movies of all time. All right, man. We are just not getting through these books, are we? Y'all got me just rambling today. It feels good to ramble. Feels good to ramble. Aquaman. Is that what we're talking about? Okay, yeah. This was amazing. We just got past the first like big story arc. We introduced a new part of the Parliament. You know, Swamp Thing is the avatar of the green with plant life. You know, you have numerous avatars of the red, from Bwana Beast to Beast Boy, King Shark, animal life. Solomon Grundy is the avatar of the gray, of rot, decay. And now we have the blue. We'd never introduced before now. And we get into this whole story with this deity and the introduction of the blue, and Aquaman gets tapped into it. He's leveled up. Like his natural abilities have now leveled up as he is like funneling and channeling the blue. He catches Superman's fist in mid-swing last issue. It was epic. He's got his trident, which is a new upgraded like ancient Atlantean weapon that can slide the two prongs on the end of the trident can slide down into a sword. You got Arion back, Lillian's there, like the Captain Nemo and the Nautilus is in there. It's awesome. He assumes that his people are dead after the events, but we got as a reader to find out they're alive. So now we're going to get into the story. He's back. He's out of the blue. He's back on mainland, back in the main 7 seas, and now he has to move forward and go from there. And you got Garth Jackson, Mira trying to get out of the little hellscape they're in. They're magically hidden from everyone else in a prison. And that goes, it has a connection to Darkseid and Apocalypse. That was the big tease in issue 1. You know, the little teases we got along the way of Darkseid still being alive leading into this KO event months ago. And now this is kind of, now that we're at KO, we're getting back to that and the implications of what happened to them and how it might tie into Darkseid's presence. But I'm excited to see what they do. Aquaman was, yes, it's so good. Jeremy Adams is crushing it. And this is one where we had to get back to some norms because they kind of shelved Aquaman. They lifted up, they took Jackson and made him like the main leading character. And we got a lot of good stories out of that. Like Chuck Brown wrote the Aquaman story with Arthur Jackson and Black Manta all together, which was awesome. But now we're getting back to like the King of Atlantis is the King of Atlantis, and the side quest characters are the side quest characters, but they're adding a lot of extra stuff to it now with like the whole blue and his leveled up abilities and stuff. He's got the hydrokinesis. Such a good read. Might be a good jump on point with this one too. I heard Gunn ran low on budget for Peacemaker, needed to replace actor who was Eagle Hunter. Michael Rooker did role as replacement for free. Yeah, I read where they just had to call him in at the last minute for what I didn't know why the actor was gone. This cover shows that time Aquaman went to a Diddy party. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? That's what it looks like. That's actually baby oil. That's not water. Namor better than Aquaman. Ooh, no, sir. No, sir. Not here. I would just refer you to my all-time most favorite comic book event in the history of comic books, Marvel versus DC from 1996. I won't weigh in on this topic. I'll just let the comic book speak for them. It's, you know what I mean? Especially since it was done by voting. I'll let the comic book speak. Namor or Aquaman. 10 out of 10 times I'm going with Aquaman. 10 out of 10 times. Now, Pops and me are divided on this issue. Pops and myself are definitely divided on this issue. Let's go. Let's go. Marty with the clap back. I'm right there with you, brother. Right there with you. Well, man, I like both characters, man. There's just something about Atlantis that I just really love. I like the Disney cartoon Atlantis. Anything you're talking Lost Kingdoms, I'm intrigued. You know, aquatic characters, ocean life, all that stuff is really cool to me. I think both characters are awesome. They each have had their times when they're doing better than others. Hey, a new Marvel Knights Punisher #1 is out this week. I'm excited to check that out. I had no clue it was tied into that one world thing that they've been doing. So the world to come. It's tied into the one world, the world to come. So no clue about that if I'll keep pulling it or reading it. I like Punisher a lot, so I'll check out #1 and see what's up. I thought it was just going to be like an old man Frank kind of story. Gotham by Gaslight. I think this might have got pushed back. I didn't see that. I definitely didn't see that. I'm excited to keep reading that, though. Man, that's been fun. Elseworlds, baby. Elseworlds. Let's see what else we got in here. New Planet Hulk passed. The Godzilla 3, that's on the pull list. The Harley Quinn Elvira crossover. A lot of cool variants on this one, y'all. A lot of really cool covers. If you're a fan of the Mistress of the Dark, don't miss out. Super cool. Let's see. Any other ones worth mentioning? Nemesis Forever we talked about. Oh, man. This new TMNT on the far right here has a foil cover. Gorgeous, dude. And he's got the turtle tail poking out. Godzilla Here There Be Aliens. The finale drops this week. And, yeah, just a lot of good stuff, man. It's a great week. Return to Skull Island, I think, got delayed, too. The thing about this website, which I even pay to keep the ads off of, the thing about this website is if something moves street date, they don't move it. So if a book doesn't come out, they'll just move it at that point to the next week. Then the next week, it's weird. Two hands. No! Dude, the hook hand Aquaman, the Peter David Aquaman is my favorite design. You can probably, because of my age, you know, that was crazy to me as a kid. And then you get to see him full on with the hook hand in the animated TV show. And I don't know how many of y'all remember this. There was an Aquaman game, like a free roam game for Xbox One, maybe. And you can get the Peter David suit in that and use the hook hand. Yeah, dude, I love that game. The mailman just brought something. Hey, Kyle, I think the mailman has dropped off your Amazon stuff. Finn's birthday's around the corner. We're getting all his birthday stuff in. Steven with a C dropping 5 channel memberships. Big shout out. Thank you to Steven with a C. Let's see who got him. Las Cruces, Comic Journey, Korban, Raider Nation, and Black Spider all received the free membership there. Make Punisher great again. Yeah, did you read the Red Band one? Dude, it was awesome. It was awesome. That Benjamin Percy one with Black Mask and Kingpin in there, that was super good. And Benjamin Percy we trust. Zombie Namor might give Aquaman a run for his money. Yo, Zombie Namor couldn't even take out the Thunderbolts in Shang-Chi, could he? What a weird little show that was. It was fun, though. I gave it a 7 out of 10. It was a virtual who's who of who cares about main characters, but it was fun. Heavy Metal Magazine. Sveta cover is hot. Namor and Aquaman are cool, but what about Seaman? What? Knife. There's a bunch of knives in there. I want my special knife. What is this weird? How does this even open?
I don't know.
It's a weird box. It doesn't have like a clear side. See, that's still sealed on both ends. There you go.
Thanks.
Have fun. Yeah. Never have too many Legionnaires. I agree. Did Aquaman ever bag wife of the smartest man on earth? Who do y'all consider the smartest man? Who would y'all consider that to be? Lex? Mr. Terrific says he's the third smartest. They have to completely retcon the Jason Aaron run and fix the Punisher. No, they don't. Man, y'all be tripping over the Jason Aaron run, acting like the hand that uses demonic deities to bring back the corpse of his wife is somehow an accurate representation of Maria. Come on. Punisher completely takes advantage of the opportunity to take on powers, clear the world of mega criminals across the block, and then take out the hand. Come on. What wasn't Punisher about that? And the art was amazing. The Jason Aaron was created to bury the character. Disagree. Even though it ended with him in the spirit realm, it was still full on Frank, more Frank than they got to see him be in a while when he got those powers just flying around the country, just busting up criminal organizations violently, brutally, and getting to fight Ares was super dope. Super dope. Brainiac. They clearly don't have to retcon it because this issue 1, it wasn't even affected by it, you know. And I like the you remember how Johnny Blaze was kind of taken off the board for a while in favor of other characters? And Benjamin Percy was the one that brought him back to his glory. And they started with that story where he was kind of in a dreamscape, if you will. And he actually had a demonic parasite that was in his head, keeping him there, keeping him off the board. And the first story arc was him having to come to that realization and get it out. I'm seeing a lot of parallels with this one, with Frank not having all of his memories and having the chip implant in his head. It's kind of like the same plot device, but just doing it with a different dressing. Instead of a Ghost Rider dressing, it's a Punisher one. The Punisher would condone the resurrection of his family by the hand that was already covered in previous story arcs. Dude, comics they can write whatever they want, man. Whether it's the best story arc or the best thing, it's one way. It's either here nor there. Some stuff hits better than others. Some stuff doesn't. He showed you through that series. He wasn't there because he agreed with the hand, though. That's the thing. He literally told them in every issue that he didn't like them. He didn't like what they were doing. He's ultimately going to kill them when he's done taking out the trash in the earth. He told them he's taking advantage of the situation to get this power to go cleanse some things before he cleanses them. Like he wasn't coy about it. He wasn't coy about it at all. Price tag Stevens C as well. There you go. I'll keep it in mind. All the people, you deserve it. Las Cruces. Punisher would never condone his family being resurrected by the hand. He didn't tell them to resurrect them. He didn't tell them to do it. Yeah, I got you. I get you. We can debate Jason Aaron's run till the cows come home. I admit it's a highly controversial run, but I think that the hang-up people get hung up on stuff like, did you read the whole thing? Did you get the context that what you're saying is correct? And it was actually addressed in the book as well. What you're saying is absolutely correct, and Frank never condoned it in the book. Like I agree with you. He wouldn't condone it. Did he condone it in Jason Aaron's run? Nope. He sure didn't. So you're right. You're right. And Jason Aaron was consistent with that. But it's not like a surface level story either, though, is it? Like he definitely goes more in character depth and stuff with it and everything. He does a lot more. Like there's stuff to discuss about it. There's stuff to question about it. There's stuff to leave you wondering. It's not just a surface level story. He did a good job diving into some concepts and stuff. A lot of reprints out or subsequent printings out this week. Absolute is still crushing it. Hey, if any of y'all looked at, man, I like this a lot. I'm always a fan of Frank Miller. But yeah, have y'all gone back and looked at how much Absolute Batman is maintaining its value? That's another example of flash in the pan stuff. Like Absolute Batman, the first story arc, like that 1 through 6A covers, is like over $100 to get. Will that hold forever? Absolutely not. After a while, like this Absolute universe won't even be a thing anymore. But Absolute Batman #1 might maintain between a $20 to $30 book for a good long time. Very similar to like the original Ultimate stuff. Like it's more than a back end dollar book. Bartering their soul is not the same thing as them bringing them back, bro. Not at all. Not at all. Especially if the character you're referring to is like a faith, like religious character of any way, like Matt Murdock, if you believe in a soul, that means a lot. Their soul means a lot. It's like them at that point. Whatever happened to the blonde Punisher wannabe Gravedigger, the rogue shield agent? 1000%. I picked it up to give it a shot. You know, I'm always gonna try out Punisher and Ghost Rider, and I'm always gonna pull Hulk. But that run was just trash. It was trash. Trash. Let's see. Let's get it going. Let's get it popping. DCKO is the hashtag for today. The giveaways for today. The local comic shop day preview, the blind bag, and then Absolute Batman number 13, Dragotta cover featuring Catwoman. So big giveaway for today. And then I'm going to throw the extra stuff in there. So I was at a local comic show. I was at a local comic show this past weekend, and I had a vendor there. It's a buddy that I've met from YouTube and going to shows and stuff like that. And he hooked it up, man. Like I got a couple books off him. I got this Ghost because all he does is like premium variants. Like he doesn't do like old books. He doesn't necessarily do like new release. He just does premium variants, ratios, exclusives, and stuff like that. And so he had a lot of cool stuff, but he had a lot of books too that weren't bagged and boarded yet. And he told me to go through the box and grab anything I wanted, and I can have it to use for giveaways and stuff. And I did not take advantage of him. I only grabbed a couple and told him thank you so much. And we're adding one of those into here since we've been talking about it. We're going to throw the this is issue number 5 of World's Finest, the Matina variant before he was gone from DC. So we'll throw that in there. And then I got a couple more books, and we're going to keep the rest of mystery like we normally do. There'll be a couple more books in there to add to it. Then we'll pull the trading cards. We got where did I put the sticker? I just had the Daggum sticker. We got the stickers, the Watchtower card, all the stuff that typically comes in the mystery bags. That boom, we'll go with the John Stewart today. That'll be in there. Are we out of sealed packs? Yeah, we're out of sealed packs. So I still have that box over here. Here we go. Here we go. So I had a friend, Headquake, donated a bunch of sealed the Return of Superman trading card packs, and I use them as giveaways when we hit the super chat goal. But I also had a sealed box that I've had for like, I don't know, probably like 3 years now. Man, I guess I could have left that one sealed. I got more sealed pack cards over here. Here we go. We're going to throw the sealed pack of, these are the Heroes, the hybrid NFT trading cards. They're regular old trading cards. Regular trading cards featuring modern art, old art, movie photos from the recent movies. But on the back, they have a QR code you can scan. So we're going to add those into that as well. I got a bunch of these still sealed. I've got some of the Skybox Masters. And then man, I can't believe I popped that seal for nothing. Pop that seal for nothing. Dang. Well, it's going to get popped eventually, but I got boxes of cards still that we can add those sealed trading card packs in there. So those will all be coming the way of the winner today. So the way it works, if you are a channel member, it's free shipping worldwide. If you are not a channel member, it's free shipping in the U.S. So if you're outside of the U.S., you can pay the difference in shipping. I'll give you a $10 shipping credit, or you can prize tag somebody in the chat, like Marty prize tag Stephen with a C. Good luck, everybody. Let's go. Let's see who's going to be today's winner. Boom, Martin. Big shout out to Martin. All right. So as always, we're going to, Monkey's not here to do it, but we're going to pull the blind cards, the Lucy's. You get 3 Lucy's. Okay, perfect. These are the Skybox Master ones. So it's got some, yeah, y'all were talking about these earlier. There's the DC Cosmic card, a Bronze Tiger going in there, Skybox Master for Darkseid going in there, and then the Skybox Master for Supergirl going in there. There's your Lucy's going in there. The sealed card, the Comics Curing Cancer sticker. Keep in mind, this event is at the end of the month. It'll kick off right here on my channel with the new DC Days stream, I'm going to have 10 mystery boxes. And if you know, I don't put together mystery boxes often. I do it for this event, and I've done it 2 other times in my life. But I put together some really, really fun mystery boxes. Got some crazy values in them, so you don't want to miss out on those. And all the money goes straight to the American Cancer Society. It'll be 3 days worth of stellar events. I got all the channels lined up, all the shows lined up. We officially announced what those shows are going to be for those 3 days. So make sure you come by, pick up some cool stuff, support a great cause. We're going to raise a lot of money. Big shout out and thank you to all the people that joined the channel membership today. Be on the lookout. If you join the channel membership today, you got access to the video where I go to that comic show I was talking about and what all I picked up there. That video won't be out until next Monday. Otherwise, I'll have a DCKO video, full review, look through and everything. It'll be up tomorrow morning right after the comic shop opens. So if you don't pick up a copy of DCKO but want to see the insanity that ensues, check back right here in the morning. So make sure you turn on that notification bell. That's going to do it for today. Hope everybody has a great day. It's been a fun show. I'm about to go watch for the kids on the bus. And until next time, as always, I'm Mark, but we are Legion.